will deal with it or whatever.
Is my wife will deal with it something that you like to say, Helena?
Yeah, I heard myself saying it now, but sometimes, yes, I must admit I do.
The legalisation of gay marriage in the Netherlands in 2001 prompted other countries to follow suit. Belgium legalised gay marriage in 2003, followed by Canada and Spain in 2005, and today more than 30 countries around the world have legalised gay marriage. But in many more, it's still illegal to be LGBTQ. How do you both reflect on the progress that's been made since you got married?
We never were sure back then that I would be 30. I mean, it took quite a while, but it's great that that happened. But on the other hand, the pressure that is on LGBT people in other places in the world and the way they are treated, the way they are convicted, murdered, that's far more of an issue. No matter how important it is that you have equal rights and that you are able to marry, as long as not everybody is safe within the LGBT world, you can't really say we made it. I think the world is becoming more and more conservative in various aspects, whether it be women's rights or LGBT rights. So unfortunately, well, we're not moving forward.
Helena Fasser and Anne-Marie Thus were talking to Dan Hardoon. And as they suggested, the 1st of April 2001 may have been a great day for them and for same-sex couples across the Netherlands, but there are different rules across the world which have been evolving over the years. Lauren Moss is the LGBT and identity correspondent at the BBC. Well, just how have these rules been evolving over gay marriage over the last few decades?
Well, like you say, I mean, gay rights groups have long been campaigning for equality and for recognition, or at the very least not to be criminalised against, for decades now. And in Europe and America, there were groups like the Gay Liberation Front in London in the early 1970s, and before that, the League of 1948 in Denmark, which became the Danish National Organisation for Gays and Lesbians. And actually, it was this group's campaigning that helped lead to the first civil union for same-sex couples in Denmark back in 1989. And I think, really, historically, that's not that long ago, but still some considerable time before gay marriage was then introduced, with the first taking place in the Netherlands, as we were just hearing about, in 2001. Those civil unions in Denmark didn't actually mean that gay couples were granted the same rights as heterosexual couples. They weren't allowed to adopt, for example. But it was that moment, really, that sort of lit the spark further for campaigners that's still burning and growing in many countries around the world.
We should make clear that not to be discriminated against on your sexual orientation is a protected UN-recognised human right. But that doesn't mean to say that various religions and governments and countries around the world don't treat the issue differently. How has that been changing recently?
Exactly. I mean, there are now 35 countries where gay marriage is legal and recognised. And in fact, just this year, on New Year's Day, a law came into effect in Estonia, making it the latest country that allows gay couples to marry. But it is still a very contentious issue. I mean, let's take India, for example. In October, the Supreme Court there decided not to recognise gay marriage. There were 5 judges on a panel. 2 of them were in favour of legalising gay marriage. 3 were against and said it should be up to Parliament, not the courts. And I think that shows, and the public attention this case had as well, just how divisive this matter still is. Homosexuality or consensual same-sex acts were only decriminalised in India in 2018. And in fact, 60 countries still criminalise homosexuality, and at least 6 have the death penalty. And just last year, Uganda, for example, enacted a law whereby anyone convicted of same-sex acts faces life in prison. Talking about religion specifically, of course, marriage is often tied up in discussions about religious freedoms and, balancing the rights of a group of people against another group of people. And there have been some significant moments recently. In December, Pope Francis approved a ruling allowing priests to bless same-sex couples in the Catholic Church. And the Vatican was very clear in saying this is not the same as a marriage, and it does not signify the approval of a union. And it still very much recognises that marriage in the Catholic Church is between a man and a woman. But really, there's no understating what a huge shift in position this was for the Catholic Church last year. There are some caveats, of course. While this was welcomed by many, among LGBTQ Catholics especially, some bishops within the Catholic Church are opposed to it. In Africa, for example, some have said they won't do it. And this has prompted the Vatican just this month to issue a response to say that the blessings of same-sex couples are not an endorsement, but it's also not blasphemous to perform them. In fact, the Church of England can't perform same-sex weddings, but last month it too also started offering blessings to couples. And in Judaism, there are variations within the denominations there too. Generally, Reform Judaism allows same-sex marriages if the rabbi wants to officiate them. Generally, in Islam, gay marriage is not approved. It's not officially recognised or performed in Hindu and Sikh religions either, although there are accounts of some weddings taking place sort of anecdotally, of course, met with controversy as well.
That's Lauren Moss, the BBC's LGBT and identity correspondent. Next, a story from the Cold War, and one which shone a light on the cultural tensions which went along with the political and military tensions of the time. In 1970, Natalia Makarova became the first female ballet star to defect to the West from what was then Soviet Russia. The dancer claimed asylum during a UK tour. She was following in the delicate footsteps of Rudolf Nureyev. Natalia later joined the American Ballet Theatre in New York. She wouldn't return to her home country for almost 20 years. Jane Wilkinson has been looking through the archives to discover the reasons behind her defection.
After the final performance tonight at the Festival Hall, the Russian ballet company will be leaving England without any real clue as to where their leading ballerina, Natalia Makarova, is right now, nor do they know why she actually defected to Britain. Some feel perhaps that Miss Makarova, having enjoyed a very successful 6-week season here, might have become captivated by the much more relaxing atmosphere that apparently visiting dancers do enjoy when they come to this country.
Just days later, on the current affairs programme 24 Hours, Natalia Makarova emerged to explain her reasons, speaking through an interpreter.
I thought about it a great deal. There was a lot for and a lot against. But I have no doubts. I've made a firm decision, and it's my own decision. What outweighed everything else was that in the West I would be able to use my energy and my ability to the full. I hope that here I shall have more chance of developing my art. I want to do everything I can to develop and to bring happiness to people.
Natalia wasn't the first member of the Kirov to defect during the Cold War. 9 years earlier, in 1961, rising star Rudolf Nureyev had asked for political asylum in France.
The press in Paris learned that Nureyev declined to be sent back to Russia, knowing that he was very much out of favor with the authorities. At this stage, he would not say more, but continued his rehearsal for The Sleeping Beauty.
At that time, Natalia was just starting out with the Kirov. But years later, in 1984, she told presenter Roy Plumley on Desert Island Discs about the impact of Nureyev's decision.
Oh, it was a terrible feeling in the company because it was sad. And that time I wasn't really mature enough to think why he did it. And like in others, I was surprised. But I danced my first Giselle in London because of Rudy defection. Because the Russian authorities decided to have some things what could probably will forget about, excuse my English, and forget about Rudy defection, something new, something striking.
But while Natalia's fame grew throughout the 1960s, the Kirov was under close scrutiny from the Soviet regime whenever they danced abroad.
When it's a company going on tour, they usually travel with the KGB.
KGB policemen?
Yes. We have few in the company, unknown.
And you suspected which ones they were?
Yes, absolutely. And we're not allowed to go to have a dinner or not to announce where we go. But I ignore this, actually.
And perhaps because she ignored those rules, Natalia made friends during the 1970 tour of London. Close friends, Vladimir Rodzianko, a BBC Russian translator, and his wife Irina. They were to play an important role in her defection, as Vladimir told The World This Weekend, alongside Natalia, once again speaking through an interpreter.
Well, I had a free evening towards the end of our stay in London, and this I spent having a last dinner with my friends Irene and Volodya, with whom I had become very close, and it was sad to leave them.
Natasha came to us, and this was a sort of farewell evening for us.
That evening I asked Volodya to tell me what would happen if I were to stay, and to explain the situation.
I explained to her, to the best of my knowledge, what her position would be in this country, and we discussed at great length the differences between the artistic life in Soviet Union and here. She then said that she had made up her mind to stay.
I asked him to arrange what was necessary. So my friend rang the police station and 2 policemen came and took charge of us. They took us to the police station, where all 3 of us spent the night. They were so nice. They gave us cups of tea and looked after us beautifully.
The next day, they got in contact with the Home Office, and well, from then on, you know.
And that was the story that made the headlines.
Miss Makarova asked Scotland Yard and the Home Office for political asylum. The Home Office can't at this stage reveal the address. It's up to them, they say, to ensure Miss Makarova's protection. Members of the Kirov Ballet Company arriving at the festival hall for the final performance this evening were reluctant to say anything at all about the disappearance of their favourite ballerina. They indicated that she'd given no sign at any time that she was in any way unhappy with ballet in Russia.
But someone who knew her was prepared to talk. Here's the English choreographer Anton Dolan.
It was really a very complete surprise to me when I heard last night. I think she's made a great mistake. Well, she's leaving, in my opinion, perhaps one of the greatest ballet companies, if not the greatest ballet company in the world. Where's she going to go? What is going to happen with this second defection? When the Russians come over again, if they come over again, they'll be under a permanent security guard, so all the happiness and the fun they had, and the clothes they were able to go and buy, and the restaurants they were able to go to, and the parties, and the friends that they were able to visit and be taken around, I think that probably will be stopped.
Natalia, then aged 29, was granted political asylum. And later, on Desert Island Discs, she reflected on her decision.
Last years, before I choose the West, I was unhappy. I was not satisfied. I get bored, and everything was predictable. I knew how my career will going up, and I knew exactly which repertoire I will do. It's kind of no mystery about.
Then in 1970, you made that choice. How long had you been thinking about it?
5 minutes. No. I never thought about I could defect. Honestly, really. Many people doesn't believe me. But believe me, if I will prepare myself consciously, I will never make this step. I will not have a courage to do that. But to do that spontaneously like I did, it's easy. And I thought it's right. In these 5 minutes, I thought it's right decision, that's right time, and I have to do that now or never. But I wasn't very happy in the beginning because I didn't speak one word English. It was very difficult. I was like a child, helpless.
Natalia overcame those difficulties. And once she moved to the West, as a prima ballerina, there was no shortage of dancing opportunities.
Good evening from Sadler's Wells Theatre. Tonight we welcome to gala performance 2 of the great dancers of the world. They are both Russian from the famous Kirov Ballet. Natalia Makarova has appeared on many occasions, but Mikhail Baryshnikov has only recently made his debut at Covent Garden.
Natalia eventually made her home with the American Ballet Theatre in New York, both performing and teaching. But thanks to the new policy of openness, or glasnost, introduced by the then Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, she was able to return to Russia in 1989.
Natalia Makarova, the Russian-born ballerina who defected to the West nearly 20 years ago, has flown back to the Soviet Union. She's been invited to perform in Leningrad by the Kirov Ballet, her old company. And she'll be seeing her mother for the first time since then. It's all thanks to Mr. Gorbachev.
All these years I didn't exist in Russia. Like I never was born. I was taken out from all the books and museums. All my photos disappeared. Now it's come back.
And back again in Leningrad, she'll be rejoining the Kirov troupe she last danced with on their visit to London.
When I received this invitation, I hesitated. I didn't know what to feel, what to think. And now, when I'm here, I think it was necessary.
Natalia Makarova, one of the true greats of 20th century ballet. The story of her defection from the Soviet Union was brought to us by Jane Wilkinson. Incidentally, we heard mention of that other great star of Russian ballet, Rudolf Nureyev, and his defection to the West in 1961. Well, on our website you can hear how he escaped his KGB minders in Paris through the recollections of the principal dancer with the Paris Opera who helped Nureyev to get away. To find that, search for BBC Witness History and then add the word Nureyev. And there'll be more from the History Hour in just a moment.
You're listening to the BBC World Service. Can we regenerate hearts after surgery?
Every year, it's estimated that globally around 18 million people die from heart disease or other cardiovascular complications. There's no real cure, as the heart can't heal itself by regrowing new cells. But now, doctors in Austria think they found a solution.
What I do now is I take the beating heart, started the shockwaves.
Can we heal the heart through shockwaves?
A huge pressure wave that's moving at the speed of sound.
Could this be a breakthrough in the treatment of heart disease?
We would see that at least 26 out of the first 50 that we treated healed.
They start forming tube-like structures. They try to form new blood vessels after shockwave therapy.
People fixing the world. Shockwaves for the heart. At bbcworldservice.com.
Happy Sale is
Coming
back.
up in part 2 of the History Hour, the corruption scandal that brought down the Spanish government in 2018. The story behind the fate of Louis Charles, son of the last King of France, which remained a mystery for years. And the first World Laughter Day.
We were charged with super energy and we were shouting slogan, ho, ho, ha, 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 very good, east or west, laughter is the best.
That's after a summary of today's world news.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. A rebel group in western Myanmar says it's captured a strategic town near the Indian border from the ruling military. The Arakan Army, part of the rebel coalition, said it had taken the town of Palatwa in Chin State, one of Myanmar's main routes to India. Ukraine's military says it's shot down 2 Russian planes, including a rare surveillance aircraft, over the Sea of Azov. If confirmed, it would be the first Ukrainian hit of an A-50 plane, which usually flies out of its defence range. Guatemala's new president, Bernardo Arevalo, has promised to rescue his country from corruption and impunity. At his inauguration, Mr. Arevalo said many had worried the country could be backsliding into dictatorship, but Guatemala's institutions had held strong. Taiwan has accused China of diplomatic repression after the tiny Pacific island of Nauru became the latest country to switch recognition from Taipei to Beijing. Nauru's action comes just 2 days after Taiwanese people elected William Lai as president, who Beijing sees as a dangerous separatist. Israeli forces have again carried out intense overnight bombardment of the city of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. The Israeli military says that it killed 2 Hamas fighters in an airstrike. Israel's defense minister has condemned Turkey after an Israeli footballer was briefly detained for making a gesture of solidarity with hostages in Gaza during a match in Antalya. A new report says up to 60% of future jobs in advanced economies are likely to be affected by artificial intelligence. Half will benefit from AI, while the other half might be at risk of losing their jobs. Voters in the American state of Iowa will brave sub-zero temperatures later on Monday to nominate a Republican presidential candidate. Opinion polls give the former President Donald Trump a clear lead. BBC News.
Welcome back to part 2 of the History Hour with Max Pearson. Still to come, the 200-year-old mystery around the fate of the last King of France's son, and how an Indian doctor has been trying to teach the world to laugh. But before that, one of the most shocking political corruption scandals to have rocked Spain this century. For 2 years, José Luis Peñas risked his life making secret recordings which would eventually blow open the case. The scandal forced the ruling party from power and brought down Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy in 2018. José Luis Peñas has been speaking to Ben Henderson.
Pues lo más escabroso, ¿no?, de que tiene la corrupción.
There were lots of references to dark places and sexual favors and prostitutes, but I think the most shocking thing was just the sheer number of confessions about gifts and huge amounts of money that were given to so many people in Spanish politics and within the ruling People's Party.
This is José Luis Peñas, the man that exposed the Gürtel scandal, Spain's corrupt system of bribes for building contracts, and its main protagonist, a businessman called Francisco Correa. The roots of the scandal lay in Spain's economic boom in the 1990s and early 2000s. Investment was flowing into the construction industry in the expectation the economy would keep growing. Regulation was low. It was said you just needed to know the right people and pay them handsomely. In 2001, José Luis, then a councillor for the ruling People's Party, was preparing for the happiest day of his life.
En ese momento yo...
I work for the mayor of the city. He advised me to invite Francisco Correa to my wedding and get to know him. So I invited Correa. He was very much a traditional Spanish man. He must have been 45 or 50 years old at the time, and he had a confidence about him. He was very well dressed and he was a real presence. Plus, he was really good friends with the president at the time. We got along well. After a few years, we became close.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile. If you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and The Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
Make a doubt they fade, Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hand.
Radio for the people, by the people.
The hand that made me who I am. Same God now, yesterday, and forever. And that's what makes you great. You are God
Okay, so let me say a massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth and those of you on other planets as well. I want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Monday edition of the morning show. Today is the 15th day of January, the year 2024, with the time now exactly at 10:44 from the House of London. This is Starr Radio UK and this is the Monday edition of the morning show, and I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
But it's been a pleasure coming your way once again. I miss you so much because during the latter part of last week I wasn't around. The weather and a bit of tiredness was taking its toll, so we needed a bit of refreshing there, right? So yeah, I wasn't on there, but hey, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure coming your way. I miss you all guys so much. But also good morning to my sister-in-law. Yes, my sister Rosita. Girl, how on? Good morning to you, Rosita. I hope you are doing very, very well. Alfred and every one of you there, I salute each and every one of you. And I say a massive good morning to you all. And I say good morning to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Well, we have to be trying to plan a new way where he can be able to be part of the program in the mornings as well. Because some schedule has changed and therefore we are working assiduously on it. So just bear with us while we do so. Hey, Linda Pallien, wherever you are. Linda, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Yasan Tua and Mrs. Pallien as well. John, good morning to you. Yeah, take this opportunity also say good morning to my brother Felix all the way in Aberdeen. Good morning to you. Aziz, good morning. Anthony Adedeji, good morning to you. Olakule, good morning. Rachel, good morning to you. And let me say good morning to Bishop Adeshina, good morning. Pastor Momo, Pastor Emmanuel Chili, and you all wonderful people who listen to us every day of the week. A special one goes to Miss Donna Takia boy. Yes, Donna, what's your birthday? When was that? Last Friday. Happy birthday to you. And today is the birthday of Sister Grace of Bible Life Family Ministries. It is your big day today. Sister Grace, massive good morning to you and happy birthday. And to every one of you celebrating a special day today, I say have a wonderful one. And Starr Radio UK wishes you all the best in everything. Let me put it this way, in all your endeavors. So once again, welcome on board. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like up this. From now till 12:30, where I'll be bringing you the curtains to the end of the program, down for the end of the program. I'm going to make sure that I bring you everything from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. And I say all the time, if it's making the headlines, why not? We're going to be touching on that. May I take this opportunity also to say good morning to all the presenters on Starr Radio UK. Baby Clement, good morning to you and to the family as well. Regina, Anima, massive good morning to you. KB Bossman, Vicky Newton. And that's what makes you great. Reverend Michael Esiama. Mrs. Elom, Minister Elom Esiama, massive good morning to you all and all Power Word International Ministry, wherever you all are, massive good morning to you. And to my sister brother HB and all Bible Lifers, massive good morning to you and welcome to Starr Radio UK. This is your favorite African Caribbean radio station. Okay, let's kick off. I'm bringing you the quote for the day, and then I'll bring you the weather forecast. We move on from there. We have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. It's known as global crossing. Then after that, we'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, Ghana. Well, the CAF has started. The tournament has started 2024. How do you think the countries are performing? Yesterday, I think Ghana. They said I don't have faith in them. I know my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, will say that actually you should have some faith in Ghana football and the Black Stars. Let's see. How about the Granny Girls? What about the other countries? I didn't have the privilege of watching though, but if you did, tell me how it all went down.
You hold the world in your hand.
Then we move on on from there, have a look at stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. And at 12 o'clock, we'll move on to Cyprus, where our own HR leader Pallien is actually bringing you Career 101, first one in year 2024. So, in a nutshell, that's what's going to happen today. So, wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Wow, when it comes to the weather this morning here in London, oh boy, I can tell you it is cold. Phyllis will tell me that, shush, because where we are, where they are, that means Aberdeen is cooler or colder. It's the coldest place in the UK at times, you know. Most of the time, let me put it that way. But when it comes to the weather from here, for London and the southeast of England, this afternoon we'll continue to see very little to no cloud, and there will continue to be prolonged spells of winter sunshine. Actually, they know. And tonight will stay dry and mostly clear, although a few bands of high cloud are likely to drift by at times. A cold and settled night expected as well. Traffic temperature is going to be 3 degrees, but the west is going to be -3. Humidity level is going to be low, and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset is going to be at 16:21, and sunrise for tomorrow morning 080 hours. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let me take you straight to the travel this morning.
This is Starr Radio. Hey.
So on the travel this morning, the Central Line has got severe delays, Elizabeth Line minor delays, Jubilee Line minor delays, Metropolitan Line minor delays, Northern minor delays, Piccadilly Line has got severe delays. You can avoid and do your best to do so. However, all the other underground lines are running a good service. London Overground, DLR and London Ground, good service there as well. So I bring us straight to the major roads in London, and I can tell you surely this morning that there are no exceptional delays there. On the river pass as well, good service throughout. London Cable Car, good service throughout there as well. That brings us to the final segment of the travel update. I will say, once again, good morning, good afternoon. Keep your eyes on the road. Now, Chelsea Railways has got severe delays. Great Western Railway has got minor delays. ScotRail and Southwestern Railway minor delays there as well. All the other underground lines have got a good service. On that note, let me say it once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? On the road.
I worship you. Holy, holy, God Almighty.
Hi guys, this is your friend Ruth from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 6 minutes to the top of the hour. And that means 6 minutes to 11 the time. and it is the Monday edition of the morning show. My producer said, you didn't quote or give us a code for the day. So I was like, oh, how? But yeah, I didn't miss out on that. Thank you very much. Well, it says a wrong assumption of what success is will place a limitation on one's ability to become successful. So what is your assumption of what success is? What will you describe as success? Think about it and let us know. You can post your comments on our Facebook or YouTube channel or whatever platform that we are broadcasting on, and I tell you for sure I will share it with our worldwide listeners. All right then, so let's move on straight to Global Trotting, one of the important parts of the program. Now, starting from Nigeria, Bisi Akande reacts to Atiko's proposed coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. And abducted Abuja sisters, former Minister of Communications Isa Pantami's friend offers to pay 50 million naira as ransom. Now, if they are able to pay that, now can you just imagine if it is your family and you don't have that means? What will happen to you? How would your family be protected or saved? That is going to be quite a big one. I think that it's about time they sit up and get things running. When I say get things running, what I'm talking about here is that they set up and get the security running in the country so that people can be able to go about their duties, not fearing that somebody is going to kidnap them and they wouldn't have the means to actually support themselves. Okay, now 2027 presidency, Atiko, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso have finally agreed on a merger. Atiko, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso finally agreed on a merger. Okay, and Nigeria could have been on fire if Supreme Court has sacked Governor Yusuf Galadima. Interesting one there. Okay. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Shetima represents Tinubu at Davos World Economic Forum, and Tampolo's men arrest vessel with 119 tons of stolen crude. Who are the organizers or perpetrators of these evil deeds? It's not a poor man sitting in some corner. No, it's still those big hooks. They are the one calling the shots. Now, how does government deal with that? Well. And troops arrest transitional drug syndicate with 296 wraps of illicit substance. And Lagos State January 31 deadline to submit annual tax returns to LIRS. And Serap asks Akpabio Abbas to slash self-serving 344.85 billion NAS budget. And then if Tinubu offers me appointment, I will appreciate it. Ex-Atiko spokesman Bola is saying. So I do ask myself the question that our politicians, what happens? Is it ideology based, or is just one of those things where it's more to do with personal gratification or stomach politics? So far as I can get some money and I can make my ends meet from there, then it's okay to embark on or join a particular political party. Is that what is happening when it comes to our politics? Well, you want to know more? Stay tuned and I'll be bringing you more from that point as well. When it comes to other stories making the rounds on the African continent, what have I got for you? Yes, I've got something for you. Senegal inaugurates e-bus fleet of Dakar public transport network. The bus rapid transit covers 18.3 kilometers of Dakar, connecting 23 stations and 14 of the city's most densely populated communes. The 120 electric buses are going to be plying that route, and I'm going to be telling you more about that. How would that, enhance travel and the economy in Senegal? And in Comoros, polls open as President Osmani seeks fourth term. Nearly 340,000 people are eligible to vote in the country of fewer than 1 million people. That'd be a lovely country. It's not lots of them there. Interesting. And South Africa says Israel this Mali failed in its defense. And then Kenya Law Society protests Ruto's judiciary critique. We'll be telling you more about that as well. So the lawyers are on demonstration in Kenya, and former Kenyan minister detained in Uganda over gold. What happened to that gold? We'll be telling you more about all that in a moment. Wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And UN warns against escalation in the Red Sea is some of the stories making the rounds in the international world as well. I'm moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds this morning. Wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In Ghana, well, attentions at Teacher Mante as public cemetery sold to unknown developer. And second lady's convoy in fatal crash. The second lady of Ghana, Samira Baumia, has been involved in a severe road accident resulting in one reported fatality. Samira Baumia is, however, in a stable condition. She was returning from Ashanti region. And IGP leads police team to visit GAF Central Command in Kumasi Central Prison and others. Well, we have the what we call him, the Ashanti Hene, saying that the police should be given all the necessary accoutrements, let me put it that way, so that they can perform a good task when it comes to the election in 2024, come the December this year, when the election is going to be taking place. 10 million defamation. Bakavama files defense and 6 counter claims against Kandapa. One of the stories making the round. Ministry of Works and Housing refused allegation of sale of Justice Marfo's South residence. Well. A lot more going to be coming your way from there. But wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial, because this is Starr Radio UK, and it is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just bear with me. And then the football. What happened? Disappointed Black Stars fans react to Ghana's 2-1 defeat to Cape Verde. Black Stars. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe my producer can give me a bit of hope from there. But somebody said don't write people off, But, at times it's so glaring. You see the end from the beginning. Now, what do you do about that? Once again, welcome to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, in other parts of the world as well. They were Israel's eyes on the border. Their Hamas warnings went unheard. A unit of young female soldiers warned of a big attack. They were among the first Hamas killed on the 7th of October. They saw they had the telltale signs. They saw everything that was happening. Yet when they said it, the authorities did not adhere to it, and that has brought about all this. Now, do you think that authorities have to be taken on for that? Now, police left children at the mercy. We'll come to that in a moment. But Iceland volcano eruption sees lava reach a town. And yesterday, looking at it from watching on some of the news network, it was quite a scary one. And Germany far right seeks revolution in farmers' protest as farmer blockade roads over subsidy cuts. Neo-Nazi or monarchist group are turning up at rallies. And Israel footballer faces Turkey sack for hostage plea. And Trump, Haley, and DeSantis make final pitches in Iowa. The former president eyes a big victory in Monday's caucuses as he bids for a rematch with Joe Biden. And then enough was enough. Sharp explains US-UK strikes on Houthis. US and UK gave Houthis every possible warning to desist. Sharp says enough was enough on UK decision to strike Houthis in Yemen. Now, what is the end game here? Well, Rishi Sunak to address MPs following Yemen attack or strikes, and then police left children at the mercy of grooming gangs. Review have said, and heartless scammers targeting missing pets owners. And a man has been charged over London Stock Exchange plot. And then in other stories, 2 men jailed for murdering schoolgirl in 1996. Now, weight loss surgeon told patients, eat. The Turkish surgeon, Ogun Essen, told an undercover reporter she could qualify for gastric sleeve surgery if she ate some snacks. Now, fans rejoice at Zayn Malik singing in Urdu. The British singer has hoped on a remake of Too High Kahan by Pakistani band. Okay, so this is a lot more going to be coming your way from there. Starr Radio UK, 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Now let's go enjoy some music, and we'll be back. I'll be bringing you everything that you got to know. Yes, this time round, enjoy this song from Sisi Bedu, and he says what? A power medley. Enjoy.
There is power mighty in the blood. There is power mighty in the blood. There is power mighty in the blood of Jesus Christ. There is power mighty.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
There is power
mighty in the blood.
There is power
mighty
in this very
blood of Jesus Christ. There is power mighty in the blood.
There is power mighty in the blood.
There is power mighty in the blood.
There is power mighty.
There is power mighty
in the
blood.
There is power mighty
in the blood of Jesus Christ. There is power mighty in the blood. There is power mighty in the blood of Jesus Christ. Jesus
for you. Gospel medley there. Somebody put it that way. Some it's a very nice one there. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. At exactly 10 minutes past the top of the hour, the Monday edition of the morning show. Until 11:30, I'll be opening the lines for you to have your voice in the discussions. As I did say earlier on, Mr. Lightning is not going to be on. Because his schedule's changed and we're trying to work out how to get him on the program each day as we normally would do. And we will prepare a reportage from him and then we can play it on as well whenever it is. But wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so let's take a quick break. We come back and then we go to look at all the other stories making the rounds from Nigeria to other parts of the world. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Contact the down.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You're stressed out. Tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa. They provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386. And they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep. Welcome back to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 12 minutes past 11. And it is the Monday edition of the morning show. Yes, on a different schedule. We're going to be telling you more about all that and what we intend to do with. Let me say good morning to Mrs. Mary Bruce. Mom, good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very well. But now let's hit the ground running. Let's go to Nigeria with updates from Nigeria. As I did say earlier on, we'll not be having Mr. Laimi Koiki, but we're doing our best to get him on the program for you each weekday as we normally will do. So just bear with us whilst we put things together nicely. Trust me to be. Yes? Yours sincerely, the one and only Archie. I'll see to that for you. All right then. So now let's crack on. The first story talks about BC Akande reacts to Atiko's proposed coalition to unseat Tinubu in 2027. Well, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Chief BC Akande, has reacted to fresh plans by Atiku Abubakar to form a coalition that will unseat President Bola Tinubu in 2017. Akande warned Nigerians against returning the People's Democratic Party to power in 2027. I said 2027, my apologies. The APC chieftain disclosed this while speaking to journalists in Osun State during the weekend. Now, he said the proposed coalition by the PDP to dislodge the ruling party at the federal level will not offer Nigerian respite from the current hardship. If PDP was rejected and the same PDP coalesced again and people say, okay, we'll go back to it, the people will go back to their sufferings. PDP was defeated because it had no clue, Akande said. Really? Now, Akande, interestingly, do you see what the president, Bola Tinubu, is saying so far pertaining to what is happening or what happened during his predecessor's occupation of the seat? I mean, looking at the fact that the economy was virtually ruined, the wanton corruption that took place, and a lot of things that have gone on there. So if he's saying that, well, if the PDP, honestly, had the PDP been together or formed a coalition with Peter Obi, the Obedient, I bet you they could have won, because if you tabulate the number of seats, okay, or the number of votes that they had, then they could have been in the seat to have won the election. However, because they came from a divided front, yeah, that's what brought about the victory of Tinubu. But let's see what happens. It's too early to say that, well, we're going to be doing that, But, well, they are calling the shots now. Let's see what happens. Do you think that maybe a coalition can unseat Tinubu come 2027? We are now in 2024. Now, abducted Abuja sisters, the story said the former Minister of Communications, Issa Pantami's friend, offers to pay 50 million naira ransom. The question is, if it is an ordinary Nigerian, a poor Nigerian person who has not got the means and was, or a family member was kidnapped that way, would they have the means to actually pay a ransom? Or would their life just be taken because they don't have it? So that's what that brings into question what the security agencies are doing in Nigeria. The security chiefs, what are they doing? What have they put together? Have they put enough men on the ground? Do they have the necessary accoutrements to fight the insurgency, the kidnapping and everything that is going on? Or, once again, sitting on their OS or resting on their OS and saying whatever thing that they have to say? Anthony Adedeji, massive good morning to you, my brother. I hope you are doing very, very well there as well. Starr Radio UK. A former Minister for Communication and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Pantami, has disclosed that one of his friends has proposed to pay 50 million ransom to kidnappers to secure the release of 5 remaining sisters who were abducted in Abuja a few days ago. The Pantami, who did not disclose his friend's name, revealed this in a tweet on his X handle on Sunday. I'm personally not in support of paying ransom to criminals. However, since it became clear that we lost our daughter, Nabiha, yesterday, and their 5 remaining daughters have been threatened, as I spoke with the father on the matter yesterday and today. Furthermore, I spoke with a friend and a brother who offered to pay the remaining 50 million naira of the 60 million immediately. I conveyed the account number of the father of our daughters, Mansour Al-Qadriya, to the friend and brother to send the money directly. Any additional amount earlier generated from yesterday, the father can use to treat the daughters and other family members, inshallah, he posted. The former minister who prayed for the soul of Nabeha, a member of the kidnapped family, who has been reportedly kidnapped, the kidnappers had killed. Now, the Nigerian security operatives, particularly the police and army, came under fire for failure to rescue abducted family members even 10 days after they were kidnapped in Federal Capital Territory. And Nigerians on social media said it was had reported the gunman had killed one of the 6 children who were kidnapped. The deceased lady, identified as Nabiha Al-Qadriya, was killed on Friday, January 13, and had been laid to rest according to Islamic rites on Saturday. Nahia was a 400 level biological science student at Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria in Kaduna State. The killing occurred after the release of their father, Mansour Al-Qadriya. 2 days after their abduction, it was reported that the father and the 6 siblings were all females, were abducted on Wednesday, January 3. Their abduction and the subsequent release of their father led to the initiation of a crowdfunding campaign with the hashtag Najee Bandi Hair Sisters to raise the ransom money as kidnappers demanded 60 million naira for the release of the children. So do we have our security agencies working at all? Now, if it was a member of their families, what would they have done since the 3rd of January? Did they take them into space? I mean, the abductors? Or what? So the question once again is, are our security up to scratch when it comes to Nigeria? With all this abduction that is going on. And ending up that one of the family members, the girls, have lost their lives. Well, the minister, the former minister of communication is saying that, well, he doesn't agree to paying of ransom. However, with what had happened, he reckons that it's okay to do so. What has the military or the security agencies said so far? The police? Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, I did talk about the story where coalition is planning to unseat Peter Tinubu come 2027. But Atiko Peter Obi Kwankwaso have finally agreed on a measure, but Utumi has said. Well, I said it that it's too early for anything of the sort. Because by the time they are getting to that place, there'll be some discrepancies, some disagreements there. But maybe they've agreed in principle to do so. So let's see what happens and who gets what. That'll be the big question. And what about the big fives? Who, the 5 governors who decided to support Tinubu, crossing carpets from TDP? What happens to them? Okay. Vice President Kashim Shettima has departed Abuja to represent Nigeria at the 2024 annual meeting of the World Economic Forum scheduled to hold in Davos, Switzerland. Now, according to a statement, his spokesperson Stanley Nkocha, the representation comes at the instance of Bola Tinubu. Now, the Vice President will join the political and business leaders across the world at the annual forum to discuss global socio-economic and development issues. Now, the statement informed that top on Shettima's agenda, apart from the plenary session, is the launch of the private sector action plan for African continental free trade area, and after at a special session to be chaired by him. He also billed to hold high-level discussions with Managing Director of IFC, Makta Diop, and the Prime Minister of Vietnam, Pham Minh Chinh, among others. Also on the sidelines of the annual meeting, Senator Shettima will chair a roundtable dialogue on Nigeria's economic path. He will also attend a special session dedicated to building trust in the global energy transition. The Vice President is expected to return to Nigeria after participating in the week-long event. Definitely, he has to return. He's not going to be staying there, Abby. Or do you think he's going to take a listen? But when it comes to his entourage, how many are they? Yeah, last week we had the president coming out with a number of people who have to be in an entourage going to various part of them, depending on the offices. And I think has got 20. Is it 20? What about the vice president? Well, maybe I'm getting it wrong. If you know it, why don't you share that with us? It's Starr Radio UK, 11:23 the time, the morning show, the program. Now, pipeline security firm Tantita Security Services Limited yesterday disclosed how a vessel MT Kali arrested in Bayelsa State with 119 tons of stolen crude oil tried to deceive the surveillance team that it was on a test run. Tantita, owned by government Ekpemopolo alias Tampolo, yesterday led journalists to the impounded vessel at Oporosa in Warri, Southwest Local Council of Delta State. According to Tantita Executive Director, Technical and Operations, Waridi and Nusua, the ship and its crew were arrested due to coordination between Santita and security agencies, particularly the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Anthony Adedeji is saying that in Nigeria now, he's in Nigeria now. Hey, my brother, how are things? But he said, but Nigeria is somehow tough. No light, roads are tough, costly materials. In fact, I'm finding it very difficult to extend that I want to change my ticket. Oh boy, my brother. Wow. That's a tough one then. For you to go in there and change. I remember once I went to Ghana and then I had to change my ticket just to fly quickly back. Because but that was due to some harsh weather that I found myself in. It was so hot and I couldn't eat, and then my mom says, go now. So I had to leave. Well, but Anthony is saying that things are tough there. Things are tough. He came with some dollars, yet he looks at it and he thinks, boy, what about the ordinary Nigerians? But interestingly, when you travel back home, you see all these people. My brother would say they do some they are able to manage here, there, and manage to, cope with whatever thing that is happening there. But it's quite an interesting one. Anthony, thank you very much for that update. Now, troops of the 192 Battalion 81 Division Nigeria Army on Sunday intercepted a suspected transnational drug syndicate with illicit substances suspected to be cannabis sativa. The Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Nwachukwu, made this disclosure in a statement on Sunday in Abuja. Now, Nwachukwu said the suspects were intercepted along Balogun border in Ogun while acting on credible intelligence that a Sienna 2001 model space bus with registration number Lagos APP 129EF was loaded with illicit substance. According to him, the vigilant troops carried out a thorough search on the vehicle and detected layers of compartments packed with 296 wraps of substance suspected to be marijuana, stressing that preliminary investigation indicated that the wraps of illicit substance were transported from Benin Republic through Lara, border communities en route Ifo to Ogun. It was further revealed that it took the transitional drug traffickers 5 months to conceal the substance for delivery to their clients. Wow, 5 months! And their bubble have been burst as well. The two suspects were arrested in connection to the crime, the story says. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story from Nigeria, and we'll bring the updates from Nigeria to close, and we'll move on to other parts of the world. Now, Sarah has asked Akpabio Abbas to slash self-serving 344.85 billion naira NAS budget. The Socioeconomic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, to reduce the national security budget of 344.85 billion to reflect the current economic realities in the country and cut the cost of governance. Now, Sarah urged them to ask President Bola Tinubu to present a fresh supplementary appropriation bill which will reflect the reduced National Assembly budget for approval. The organization also urged them to publish details of the National Assembly budget of 344.85 billion naira, including the proposed spending details of 3 billion naira for the Senate car park and 3 billion naira budgeted for the House of Representatives car park. In a letter of the weekend, signed by SERAP Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, the organization said passing appropriation bills that are inconsistent with the inconsistent with the provision of the Nigerian Constitution is a fundamental breach of the constitutional oath of office by the lawmakers. It added that the arbitrary increase by the lawmakers of their own budgetary allocation, if not cut, would have significant fiscal consequences and exacerbate the country's debt crisis. Well, It's interesting, isn't it? What do you think can be done? Maybe they are in need of that money. Somebody say, maybe not. But what do you think about all that? This is Starr Radio UK. And this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Before I go, some headlines from Nigeria. So, Supreme Court affirms Alex Otti as Abia governor, and Anambra both Mishap Niwa commiserates with family of victims and respite on the way for Enugu communities as army pledges to tackle insecurity. Well, they should be up and running. And Guba dispute, Kano, Bauchi, Zamfara, Plateau, Ebonyi governors arrived at Supreme Court, and PDP, APG, Guba candidates are not needed in my government. Ebonyi Governor Francis Nwofuru has also said that. Listeners, this is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, we're going to be taking a break, and once we come back, we'll be looking at some of the other stories making the rounds on the African continent.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancer taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say order, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, the Monday edition of the morning show. With the time now exactly at 11:33. And let me open the lines if you want to join in. It's 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. Okay. And then if you want to text or WhatsApp at 0753-966-1744, 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So whatever you do, don't miss out. Continue, try, and do your best to join us on the broadcast. However, if maybe you one way or the other want to call in via our Skype, you can do so as well. Our Skype ID is Starr Radio UK 1. All right then. Okay, so now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds this morning. So in other parts of Africa, well. Senegal inaugurates e-bus fleet of Dakar public transport network. Now, the bus rapid transits cover 18.3 kilometers of Dakar, connecting 23 stations and 15 of the city's most densely populated communities. Starr Radio UK Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Just bear with us, please. Just bear with us. There was a missed call that came through, and I'm trying to see who or what it was. My apologies for that. Okay. Okay. So now let's move on. Let's move on swiftly to some of the other stories making the rounds as well. In the Comoros, polls have opened in the Comoros in an election that has President Azali Assoumani contesting for a fourth 5-year term. The vote, which started at 8 a.m., that is 05 hours GMT, ends at 6 p.m. Yesterday. Assoumani, 69, is being challenged by 5 opponents in the vote. Some opposition leaders have boycotted, accusing the election commission of favoring the ruling party. Now, we always have this situation where the election commission seem to be favoring the incumbent. So when it comes to the electoral commission in Nigeria, we were saying that they were favoring the incumbent there. Now we have the this one too. We had that of Ghana. We have that of most of the places. It's only in Kenya that there was a bit of I don't know how we will term that, but in Kenya it was quite an interesting one that happened there. But what do you think about all that? This is all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other stories still making the rounds on the African continent, Namibia criticized German support for Israel over ICG genocide case. Namibia has disapproved of Germany's decision to step in on behalf of Israel in a case before the International Court of Justice. Well, they saw that back in the day, they wronged them, so they think that it's about time they also do something about it. But it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. In South Africa's ruling African National Congress Party will celebrated on Saturday the 112th anniversary of the establishment ahead of the national election expected to be the toughest since it came to power in 1994. Now, thousands of party members and supporters are expected to convene in Mpombela Stadium in the Mpumalanga province, where President Cyril Ramaphosa, also the head of the ANC, will deliver his annual address and outline the party's program for the year. The ANC is the party of South Africa's first democratically elected president and anti-apartheid leader, Nelson Mandela. It was at the forefront of the country's liberation struggle against racial segregation and the white minority government. Ramaphosa is seeking a second term in this year's election after coming to power in 2019, succeeding Jacob Zuma. The ANC has been facing widespread criticism for failing to deliver basic services to millions of the country's poor black majority. And it is sad. It is sad. At times I do ask myself the question, is it good? Was it good that we voted our own people in or? But is it that, I don't get it. Is it that they cannot put together what it takes to actually help to ease the pressure on their people? Or are they supporting themselves? This is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Just bear with me. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Ebenezer Hammond all the way in Cape Town. My apologies. Yes, Cape Town, South Africa. Yes, I hope you are doing very, very well. And Alfred I hope you are doing well too. Thanks for all the messages. Once I'm on break, I will have a look at it. Well, interestingly, the CAF, African Cup of Nations, has started, commenced yesterday. There were some matches there, but what do you think about everything that is happening? Aha! Now, a final story. With the Pope's approval, African Catholic bishops will not carry out the extra liturgical blessings proposed for same-sex couples in the declaration issued by the Vatican on what it calls irregular couples. The president of the Symposium of the Episcopal Conference of Africa and Madagascar cited confusion and the risk of scandal in a letter released on Thursday. The Catechism of the Catholic Church defines scandal as an attitude or behavior which leads another to do evil. Beforehand, second President Congolese Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo met Pope Francis to discuss the matter. The declaration Fiducia Supplicans, published on December 18, opens the publicity of blessing couples whose relationship is not valid in the Catholic Church, including unmarried couple, divorced and remarried couples, and same-sex couples. However, the document issued by the Christian Catholic Church Doctrine Bureau and signed by the Pope stirred a controversy among Catholics. Some Africans in Zambia, Catholic bishops said the declaration should be taken for further reflection and not for implementation, citing the law in the country which forbids same-sex unions and activities. In their documents issued to clarify the original declaration of the and address concerns of the January 4, the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith said, example, that when there are laws that condemn the mere act of declaring oneself as a homosexual with prison, and in some cases with torture and even death, a blessing will be imprudent. In communion with the Pope, the African Church reaffirmed its commitment to continuing pastoral assistance to all its members. Listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on to other parts of the world. And exactly at 18 minutes to 12. Now, there were Israel's eyes on the border. Their warnings went unheard. So can we hold the authorities responsible for what happened to Israel when we had Hamas crossing the border to Israel to kill about 1,200 and take hostages of 200 plus there? Okay. Ukraine says it shot down Russian spy plane. Army Chief General Valery Zalziny said the Air Force had destroyed an F-50 radar detection aircraft. Okay. I bet you have Russia coming tomorrow to say that they are going to avenge that, and then there is going on. Bob Marley says, so much trouble in the world, so much trouble in the world. How true is all that? Okay, let me bring you all that quickly and we'll move on. Now, 4 years units of young girls, conscripts, had no job here. It was to sit in surveillance bases for hours, looking for signs of anything suspicious. And these people are known as Israel's eyes on the Gaza border. In the months leading up to the 7 October attacks by Hamas, they did begin to see things, practice raids, mock hostage taking, and farmers behaving strangely on the other side of the fence. Noah, not a real name, says they would pass information about what they were seeing to intelligence and higher ranking officers, but were powerless to do more. We were just the eyes, she said. It was clear to some of these women that Hamas was planning something big. That there was, in Noah's word, a balloon that was going to burst. Information coming through the BBC said young women, these young women, about the escalation in suspicious activity, they observed the reports they filed and what they saw as a lack of response from senior Israel Defense Forces officers. We have also seen WhatsApp messages the women sent to the months before the 7 October attacks, talking about incident at the border. To some of them, it became a dark joke. Who will be on duty when the inevitable attack came? And these women were not the only ones raising the alarm. And as more testimonies gathered, anger at the Israeli state and questions over its response are mounting. And I did say this. Is that why they've gone all out, gun blazing, doing everything? Because authorities saw that they could have quelled whatever was going on, but failed to do it. And now both sides have to pay for the authorities not hearkening to what these eyes and ears were hearing and seeing. Listeners, Starr Radio UK. A volcano has erupted near the southwestern Icelandic town of Grindavik, sending lava spilling into the town and setting multiple houses on fire. The houses have been set on fire in the Icelandic town of Grindavik after two volcanic fissures opened nearby. Defenses built after an eruption in December have partially contained the lava, but some have been breached. Iceland's President Gudni Johansen urged people to stand together and have compassion for those who cannot be in their homes. Now, Grindavik was evacuated in November after a different eruption, but some residents had been allowed home. Iceland has more than 30 active volcano systems. You know, it's quite interesting. I do ask myself that question, that if I know that a particular place, there are severe earthquakes there, there are, eruptions, volcanic eruptions there, would I still want to live there when I know that it's just a matter of time? Well, it's quite interesting, right? Now, Ukraine's military says it has shot down a Russian military spy plane over the Sea of Azov in what analysts say will be a blow to Moscow's air power. Army Chief General Valery Zaluzny said the Air Force had destroyed an A-50 long-range radar detection aircraft and an Il-22 air control center. The A-50 detects air defense and coordinates targets for Russian jets. Now, Ukraine has struggled to make significant recent advances against Russian forces in the southeast. A briefing from the UK's Ministry of Defense on February 23rd February said that Russia likely had 6 operational A-50s in service. The planes cannot cost hundreds. The plane can cost hundreds of millions of dollars to build. The Russian officials say they had no information about the attack, but prominent pro-war Russian commentators have said the loss of an A-50 will be significant. One popular military channel, Reba, said that if Ukraine's information about the Russian losses was confirmed, it will be another black day for the Russian Air Force. But this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. One other story, then we come to the UK front. This is Starr Radio UK. One of Taiwan's last diplomatic allies has cut ties with the island in favor of Beijing, just days after a new president was voted in Taipei. Nauru, a tiny Micronesian island, was just one of 12 countries that kept diplomatic ties with Taipei. But in recent years, Beijing, which insists Taiwan is part of China, has been poaching its diplomatic allies. Taiwan suggests this latest loss is related to the weekend's election results, which angered China. The election saw voters pick pro-sovereignty candidate William Lai as their next president, a man Beijing has labeled a troublemaker over remarks he made in the past supporting a Taiwanese independence, which it sees as a red line. The timing is not only China's retaliation against our democratic election, but also a direct challenge to the international order. Taiwanese officials said after Nauru's government announced it will no longer recognize Taiwan as a separate country, but rather as inalienable part of China's territory. But I can see that country. I can see it, just the whole thing. And I don't know how many people in that particular on that particular island. Maybe 50,000 or less, or 100,000. Are they a country? Well. It is all Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Wow. Got about another 9 minutes to run up the first part of the program. By this hour, Rishi Sunak is to address MPs later for the first time since the UK joined US strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. The government will look again at further strikes against the armed group if attacks on vessels in the Red Sea do not stop, Defense Secretary Grant Shapps has said. But Mr. Shapps said the UK had no interest in entering some extended approach in the Red Sea. We simply want international shipping to be able to run. Asked if there would be the further strikes, the Defense Secretary said, of course, if the Houthis don't stop, we will have to look at this again. We very much hope that they would take a lesson from this and stop harassing shipping. He also defended the government's decision to strike the Houthis without a debate or vote in Parliament first. The Prime Minister prompted criticism from some opposition after authorizing the strikes, which he described as self-defense without consulting MPs. Mr. Shapps said it would have provided perhaps too much information and details to the Houthis. So we need to act. We needed to act. We did that, which is quite a lot of consultation with Parliament, with the Speaker, with the leader of the opposition, and others. Now, calling the strikes which targeted 16 Houthi rebels cites discreet, proportionate action, he said he hoped it sent a very clear message that you can't have tax disrupting international shipping in that way. Well. He said, well, they are based. Now, what do you think about all that? So coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in other stories still making the rounds here, girls were left at the mercy of pedophile grooming gangs for years because of failings by senior police and council bosses, a report has said. The review covers 2004 to 2013 and sets out a series of failed investigations by Greater Manchester Police. It also highlights apparent local authority indifference to the plight of hundreds of youngsters identified as potential victims of Asian men. Now, the GMP has apologized and said such cases were handled very differently now. The report also identifies 96 men still deemed a potential risk to children, adding that this was only a proportion of the numbers involved in the abuse. Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham said the review showed the victim had been badly failed. He also praised whistleblowers, including health worker Sarah Rao Botham and former GMP detective Maggie Oliver, who raised concerns despite facing vocal criticism from authorities. In 2007, Miss Robotham and her team had alerted GMP and Rochdale Council about a gang of men of Pakistani and Afghan heritage engaged in child sexual exploitation. While Miss Oliver resigned from GMP in 2012 to publicly reveal the extent of the police failings. Well, that's the Greater Manchester Police. Well, he said they did their best and changed the way things have to be done. But who knows? What do you think? So, Starr Radio UK. The final story from the UK front, and then we'll take a break, and I'll bring you HRH Linda Pallien. A man has been charged in relation to plans to disrupt London Stock Exchange, the Metropolitan Police has said. Sean Middleborough, 31, Woodley Road, Liverpool, will appear at Wirral Magistrate Court, later charged with conspiracy to cause a public nuisance. Now, 5 others were arrested in London, Liverpool, and Brighton on Sunday. Activists from the group Palestine Action were allegedly plotting to target the London Stock Exchange on Monday, the Met said. The force said activists had been planning to stop the exchange from opening for trading by locking onto the building and causing damage. The Met said there was a suggestion that this was one part of a planned week of action. The arrests were prompted by information shared by the Daily Express. Speaking on Sunday, Detective Superintendent Sean Thomas described the arrest as significant. A woman, 29, from Brent in North London, a 23-year-old man from Tower Hamlets in East London, 2 women, aged 28 and 26, from Liverpool, and a 27-year-old man who was arrested in Brighton, have been bailed pending further inquiries. Well, listeners, this is where I bring the first part of the program to a close. Take a break, and I'll take you to Cyprus, where we've got our own HRH Linda Pallien. So stay tuned and don't touch the dial. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa will provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Life be sweet, life be tasty like honey.
Starr Radio UK, enjoy that tune from Free Yabuta, and it says cheers to life. Once I get myself ready to bring you HRH Linda Pallien, so wherever you are, stay tuned and don't touch it.
If you get money, cheers to life. You no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My brother, just be you, cheers to life. If you get money, cheers to life. You no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My sister, just be you, Cheers to life. So bring the pork, serve the beer, make the bartender bring the shots. The bottom again, so we go party rough. We'll be giving thanks for life. Bring the pork, serve the beer, make the bartender bring the shots. Your bottom again, so we go party hard. We'll be giving thanks for life. If you get money, cheers to life. You no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My brother, just be you, cheers to life. If you get money, cheers to life. Or you no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My sister, just be you, cheers to life. Sanga girl, the girl now. Sanga boy, the boy now. Sanga ukanika now. Sanga uliani mianga. Ibe unti enda. Adumbinti uonkwa. Enyumi boy unsa. Ibe unti enda. Bring the pork, serve the beer, make the bartender bring the shots. Your bottom so we go party hard. We'll be giving thanks for life. If you get money, cheers to life. You no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My brother, just be you, cheers to life. If you get money, cheers to life. You no get money, cheers to life. Everything you do, cheers to life. My sister, just be you, cheers to life. Sanga mi body wanga, sanga mi ni wanga.
Okay, you listening to Starr Radio UK. It's now time for HIH Linda Pallien. Don't you worry, I can bring you that music during the end of the program. So wherever you are, just stay tuned and don't think of touching the dial. That was from Wuta, a free year. But now, enjoy time with HRH Linda Pallien.
This is really for those of you who perhaps are struggling to get recognized for what you do or get paid your value or
apologize to listeners for your inability to join us last week there as well. But thank God today you are with us. So what are we looking at today?
Today we're looking at 13 steps to acing your career. 13 steps to making sure that you have a name for yourself, to making sure that you're progressing in the career that you've chosen, or how to boost it so that you're remembered and irreplaceable.
Okay. So 13 steps to
acing your career.
Acing your career. Okay.
Bossing your career.
Yes, Frank was suggesting maybe you add another one to it, but it just went now. I don't know which one. So he should have waited for you to come up with all your 13 steps, and then you think, oh, we need an additional one. Maybe what he's suggesting, you might have it on. But 13 steps to acing your career. We are going straight to Linda for that. Okay, over to you. What are the steps?
I'm really curious to hear what Frank's suggestion was. I hope that I've got it here, but we'll see.
Yeah. He's listening. So maybe once you enumerate them and he doesn't find his in there, then he's going to tell you which one it is.
Hilarious. Okay. So 13 steps to ace your career, and this is really for those of you who perhaps are struggling to get recognized for what you do or get paid your value or looking to take your business to the next stage. These are some of the things that the top people in your field are doing that is making them stand out, that's making them liked, that's making them remembered. So if you can incorporate even a few of these into your career, you'll see a difference, a noticeable difference in how you're perceived and the credibility that you are afforded when you do these. So the first step we want to talk about is innovative. And this also applies to businesses, by the way. If you've started your own business or you're looking to start something, this is definitely, these steps you could definitely use to distinguish yourself in the marketplace. So the first thing we said was innovative. In a somewhat crowded marketplace. Innovation can be anything from what your CV looks like, how you approach someone about wanting a job. You know, we've heard of people who've done very interesting things, you know, whether you've got to review a website for a company to ask for a job, or you've sent flowers, or whatever it is. But being innovative and really bringing something new into the game will really stand you in good stead for your career. If you're applying, be innovative in the way you describe your skills, be innovative in the way you showcase what you can do. Some of these things, I've spoken at length about these in a lot of talks. Some of these things could be the layout of your CV. It could be there was an idea in business as well that I'm trying to get at, but I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
It's just slipped my mind. And the second thing is your mindset and the way you approach people. So if you think that you can, you will, and if you think that you can't, you won't. You know, it's always a no if you don't ask. So I really want you to start looking at how do I position myself for success, and that would just be building yourself up in some of the things that you've done in the past. You know, I've been able to do this in my previous job. I can do this here. I don't have the right experience now, but in looking after my kids or whatever I did at home, I've been able to do this. Therefore, this is evidence that I can do this in my work life. In a business, it's coming up with something new and original and exciting. You know, we're talking about innovation that will grab attention and make you indispensable. The third step is strategic thinking. If you're applying for a job, if you're looking to get a promotion, it's not enough just to do what you're told. You've got to do some future planning in terms of your own career progression. What's the next step for you? And maybe start taking steps towards those things, whether it's sharing with your manager some of the experience you'd like to have or some of the trainings you'd like to have, but being strategic in projects you get involved in, even in volunteering, right? Because I was talking to one of my ex-students recently, and she said she started a business as a virtual assistant company. And she said, to begin with, I didn't have experience, but I realized I've been organized all my life. I used to be a treasurer at church and collect the offering, so I used to raise money. And all of that experience I was able to use to convince clients that I can definitely manage their affairs and manage their money. So start, even if it's volunteering, but start collecting evidence that you can use to be strategic about the things you get involved in. Number 4, quality over quantity. It makes a lot of sense to say I've been able to do one thing and do it properly than a lot of different things, and you didn't do in-depth work into it. If you've been working for a month here, a month there, or I did this project and that project, start looking at how to really get a quality experience, a wholesome experience, and a full experience.
Rolling Stones,
Rolling Stones, for sure. Prioritize quality, and especially in the work. If we're talking about this, and you're listening to this, and you're already in a career, the quality of work that you do in one area, make sure you do it and do it well. A lot of people think, oh, maybe I've got to do all of these tasks, so I'll do this quickly. And I'll give an example of one of the assistants I used to have, where when she has tasks, rather than starting one and finishing it, her job was, okay, in the briefing meeting, I'll say, I started working on this, and I started working on that. And before you know, there's a lot of incomplete tasks. You know, I've just done a quick overview of this one. We need to go into detail. I've done a quick overview of that one. And then in the grand scheme of things, you're not helpful to anybody because there's so many unfinished projects that it becomes more stressful than if you'd done one and done it properly. So again, applying it to your particular setting or your particular situation, whether it's a career you're in, whether you're looking to go into a career, if you're applying for jobs, focus on the ones that you really want and do a great application rather than sending the same mediocre application to lots of different people. In a business, it's exactly the same thing. You can't be jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
Master what you do and do it brilliantly and get known for that. And then you can move on to the next one.
Okay. Good.
Number 5, we're talking about creating ideas. There, now, being innovative, being a thinker is priceless. You said in the era of AI, in the era of machines and robotics, the one skill that we have over everyone else is your creativity, your ability to generate ideas. So focus on that and showcase them as much as you can, whether it's in your portfolio, whether it's in your resume, whether it's in a podcast you do, whether it's joining a panel discussion, whatever makes sense in your industry, or even in a social media post. But create some of these ideas. And it doesn't matter if they all don't work. They're not supposed to. You just need one idea that works. Right? Most people who've been great inventors have had several products that have just not made it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the one thing that works. So creating ideas really will stand you in good stead to ace in your career. And then we've got strategic risk taking. Now this is a sensitive one for most people because a lot of people are funny about the word risk. And we have to start getting comfortable with the word because it's a part and parcel of our life. You know, living is a risk because you're risking dying. Sleeping, you're risking not waking up. You know, just nature.
I won't sleep. I will open my eyes.
You're not going to stay awake all day. Yeah, all night. So we really have to embrace that this is a part of life and normalize it as much as possible. But we've said strategic risk taking. So as long as you can show that you've taken a calculated risk, which aligns with what your overall goal, what you're trying to achieve in your career or in your business, then go for it. And when we talk about risk taking, it's maybe applying for a job, having the guts to leave a comfortable job to really go after what you want, or really go ask for that pay rise or promotion, or start that business, whatever it is for you. But do your due diligence, make sure you've covered all the bases, you have an exit strategy, you're asking the right people as well. I can't stress enough, you have to ask the right people. Be careful who you take advice from.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to try and buy an airplane, for example, there's no point in asking someone who doesn't own an airplane if they think it's a good idea.
Somebody who owns bikes. Go talk to someone who owns bikes.
They haven't done it before. They might have the best interest at heart, but they're not the best person to ask. Go and ask somebody who's done it before, and exactly the same thing. And it's the same with getting your CV checked by someone in the job.
Yeah,
they got the job, but it doesn't mean they had the best CV.
Yeah,
ask someone who does that and specializes in that, and they'll be able to show you maybe where your CV isn't converting.
Yeah.
Really, in terms of risk taking, make sure if you're going to do your due diligence, you're doing it properly to the best of your ability.
Okay.
And then
Linda, hold on, so that listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien all the way in Cyprus, and today we are looking at 13 steps to acing your career. And she's put some of the steps there. You have any comments about it? Feel free, put it on our Facebook page. We'll read them. If not, she'll be putting her contact details once the whole program is over, and then get in touch with her and she will guide you through that. Okay, so stay tuned. She continues from there. Over to you, Linda.
Thank you. So in the 13 steps, we've spoken about being innovative, having the right mindset. We've spoken about having a great strategy to go with what you're trying to achieve, prioritizing quality over quantity, and creating ideas and risk taking. So that's 6 already. Strategic risk taking. And next step, and 7th step, is building relationships. In every career, in every business, in every vocational project, you're going to be working with people. So it makes sense to understand how people work, what their preferences are, how to build a relationship with them to make it a seamless process. So definitely build the right relationship. If you're looking to get a promotion, a pay rise, build the right relationships with the right people who can advise you on how to get that. So whatever your goal is, make sure that the relationship you're building aligns with your goal or furthers you on your journey. If you're looking for fulfillment, relationships with mentees and charity work, whatever it is, that will get you the results you're after. Definitely do that. Number 8 is sustainability. So as we're talking about risk taking, we have to look at, in the long term, how effective or efficient is this idea, practice that I'm doing. Okay, we're looking for something that's long term. So if you think, okay, well, it'll get me results in 2 months, but after that, people might lose interest. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I want to start a vlog, or I want to start a podcast, or I want to do this. But then they don't realize, oh, now I'm on leave, 2 weeks leave, so I've got the time to do it. Mm-hmm. But when I go to work, or when I start a family, or whatever it is, life also happens. How sustainable is it for me to keep doing it this way? And if not, then maybe every day, coming on a podcast every day isn't feasible, but maybe every week is. So you want to set yourself up for success. It's like building New Year's goals, right? If you say, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and you've never been before, you're setting yourself up for failure. So make it sustainable for you, according to what else is happening in your life. And with your goals, with your career goals, exactly that. Is it feasible? Is it sustainable for you to become a manager if you've only got 3 years experience and the top manager and be running your own field? Probably not. Or maybe you're going to have to invest X amount of hours or X amount of money or X amount of time. Do you have that realistically? Number 9, advertise. Advertise. And I say that, and a lot of career people are thinking, well, that's for businesses. You have to advertise yourself. Everyone is a product. Everyone is providing a service. So advertising means showing, in your career sense, will be showing what you're capable of, showing what you've already done, but being your own advert of your services and the value you provide. You have to be able to effectively communicate that in a way that people can see the value that you bring to the table. Even if it's volunteer work, you're going to have to either showcase in your portfolio, give some examples, create a brand for yourself and show some branding examples, but really talk about what your successes are, what your wins are, as well as anything else that will help convert someone to give you that pay rise or the promotion, or hire you for their service, or give you the contract, or work with you on a certain project, whatever it is. Definitely advertise. If you're not showing that you're looking for a job, 70% of the jobs are not advertised. How are they supposed to find you? You want to be talking about it to everyone you know. That is in yourself as well. I've just started this new side hustle, and I'm looking. If you know anybody who is looking for this service, please ask them to contact me. But at any given point, you should be advertising your services. Your manager, I've just worked on this project, but I really learned this, and the best thing is I've been able to add this value, which was above and beyond what I was required. remind people what you've done, because they're not going to remember it by themselves. You have to be your own cheerleader, right? Number 10, business culture. Okay, so again, for a business, it's really creating that environment, welcoming environment that people will want to work with. For you as an individual in your career, it's part of your brand and your personality and how you work. Whether you're punctual or you're not, whether you're communicative or you're not, whether you think outside of the box or not, but creating that culture around you that people want to be a part of. People want to work with you because of that. People want to engage with you because of that. Will stand you in good stead for advancing your career. If you're a magnetic person that shows that they really care and they can get the job done, naturally everybody will want you as part of their team. So really understanding that you need to build a culture around you, around your business, around your services that adds to your unique proposition that would really stand you in good stead in being different and standing out and acing your career. And then finally, people, the last 3 steps, people, building relationships. We've spoken about building relationships with people, but also working with the right people. Who you choose to work with or choose to associate with, again, will either enhance your brand or take away from it. So understanding who the right fit of people are for you. And then growth prospects and growing, personal development, professional development. Keep increasing your knowledge, keep perfecting your craft, honing your craft. And again, that will help you to grow your career much quicker. And finally, number 13, which is my favorite, is creating a wow experience. Really with surprises, with going above and beyond, with exceeding expectations. Who doesn't want that? Who wouldn't promote that to say, I've employed this person and they started off as this, but they've exceeded all of my expectations and I want them to do more. So in your work, how can you create a wow experience for who you work with? Whether it's your management, whether it's the people that work with you, whether it's the customers. What does a wow experience look like? What would blow their minds? And seek to do that. Because people talk about wow experience. They don't talk about good experiences. They will talk about a very bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be happy with an okay service. But a wow experience, they'll tell everyone. So how can you be that wow person that everybody wants to work with? And once you've done these 13 things, you're well on your way to acing your career. Even if you do a handful of them, pick a handful of them and go to work on them, it will stand you in good stead in acing your career.
Oh, wow. You have that wow experience, or you create that wow what environment for that experience to take place, then I can tell you that you've arrived. But the only way that you can do that is by continuing to listen to HRH Linda Pallien and following her, and then she can hold your hand virtually. Let me put it that way. You have to put in an effort, not that we are going to be spoon feeding you, no. But she can hold your hand, guide you through all that. She's got books that she's written. We'll come to that in a moment. But Linda, one question that I wanted to find out from, I mean, if we have to go through the list, it's quite a long one. But when you talk about the creating of a wow experience, now we have people who, especially ladies, who want to maybe get themselves trimmed up in a way that's their image itself. They look more into that than maybe looking at what is going up here or creativity. Now, how do you balance that up?
Definitely. I think actually from a psychology perspective, when people overcompensate, it shows whether it's looks in rather than what's in your brain. It shows a sort of insecurity that you feel like you're not good enough, or your knowledge is not good enough, so you need to overcompensate. And people can see through that, you know. And the same with men too. People tend to exaggerate a particular aspect, and usually material stuff, because that's is to show, rather than focusing on how to really showcase the value they bring, or the value they possess innately. So definitely it's a very good point. Have a look at whether this wow experience is of value to the end user.
Okay.
It's good enough if you're a lady and you're very pretty, but that's not add to the customer service role that you're going to be doing, for example. Yes, it'll be nice for people to look at you for the first time, but if you can't pass on the message, or you can't take some, they're going to find out. So, as well as looking pretty, and obviously image is a huge part of the brand, but make sure that you're the entire package. Otherwise, again, it might take you so far, but so quickly, but bring you back just quickly. So understand what a wow experience is the whole value, and if you're in doubt if what you're offering is a wow experience, ask the end user, how do you perceive this, and how can I improve on this? What would make you excited?
Yeah. Wow. Well, I've got my wow, because she holds my hands all the time, guiding me through the journey. But you want to do so, or you want her to help you on that front, go back to Linda. She's going to put her contact details and talk about the book as well, so that people will know about it. I'm very interested in people knowing about the book, because knowledge is power.
So I'm glad you brought that up, and thank you. I'm really, really excited to mention that the career series is out and published right now. So we have we have 3 books in the career series: How to Career, Career Success Tools, and the Career Workbook. And How to Career is based on how to choose the career, how to evaluate opportunities that get presented to you, and really how to know what is aligned to you, what I call your natural path to wealth. Because everybody deserves to be wealthy, everybody deserves to earn as much as possible, get the credibility and the fulfillment, importantly, that you need. So How to Career is that Career Success Tools is hands down the most valuable book out there, and I can say that because I know how much value is in that book. It tells you everything about marketing, building your own personal brand. We've been speaking about that, how to showcase that this is a wow experience. We've been talking about how to deal with people, unconventional ways to approach people, and really it's if you want to build on your career. So How to Career, you identify it. Career success is building on the career, and it goes on from starting from early careers to being a leader, to go into management, an authority, an influencer in your field, and building a legacy. It's for everybody at any stage of your career. It's available right now on Amazon. If you type in Linda Pallien or Career Success, Linda Pallien Career Success, you'll come up with the book. It's available as an ebook or as a paperback. Definitely recommend the paperback. Okay. And then the third book is the Ultimate Career Workbook, and it brings those two together so that you have all in one place a book where you can write all of the steps, interview preparation, prospecting calls, all of the steps, all of the things you're good at. It has a lot of prompts as well. That's the best thing that people say about the book, the prompt to think, oh, okay, what's the objection I'm going to face here? And what am I going to say to it? And it gives you a place to respond to it. And it's a neat and tidy A5 book, so you can take it to any meeting you need. It shows you how to build your brand. It gives you all the steps. It even gives you a decision tree if you should work for free or not. I'm super proud of this book, and I'm really grateful to my team for putting this together. It's amazing.
Wow, listeners,
Linda Pallien for you. But your contact details, please.
Absolutely. So you can definitely contact me on my website, lindapallien.com, and you'll find a link to the books there. You can contact me on social media at Linda Pallien or on my Cheerleader website or at my Cheerleader as well. And definitely, I would love to hear from you guys. I'm still looking to hear about your career stories. So if you want to be interviewed by me, of course, that builds your brand up as well and showcases it. I've been interviewing people from all over the world, so you get to be a part of this great experience. Definitely contact me any which way: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm there, and I'm there so that you can ask me anything you want.
Linda, let me say thank you very much for this wonderful time with you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, as always.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, have a lovely day, and we'll catch up later then.
Thank you. You too.
Well, so that has been Linda Pallien for you this afternoon, bringing you Career 101. Yeah, 13 steps of how to ace your career. And that's what she's put across. Next week, God willing, she's going to be on. Again, same time, 12 o'clock to 12:30. So make a date with her. All right, then. So this is why we're bringing the program to a close for today. God willing, tomorrow we're going to be back with another edition of the morning show. It's going to be another smasher of a program, and I want to invite you to be part of it wherever you are or wherever you might be. And so let me put it this way. On behalf of the team, the production team, and every one of you who tuned in today to listen to us, I am the one and only Archie. And I say, God bless you. But I sign off with this song that I earlier brought your way from Wuta. And it says, cheers to life. Well, we got to live life. Don't we? Definitely we have to. When that song ends and you don't hear from me, then it's with me, Archie, saying, have a lovely day and see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Life they be, life be sweet, life be tasty like honey. Enjoy the beautiful things today. Tomorrow go come, you better feel the late. Yeah, near who the turn and yeah, near who better. Then I'm fufonu, they bring your papa. I did party wa, uting wemua.
This is Starr Radio UK.
If you get money, just to life. You no get money, just to life. Everything you do, just to life.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Just to life. You no get money, just to life. Everything you do.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
So bring the pork, set the beer, make the bartender bring the shots. The bottom again, so we go party rough.